Hey everyone, it's Drew. So I wanted to take a moment and go through the real estate stats for both Lexington and West Columbia for the month of September. I am going to be releasing mid-month October very shortly, probably this weekend. But what I want to do now is my anticipation was we were going to start seeing changes in the real estate market. We are hearing the news talk about it. Should we be concerned with the real estate market right now? Valid question. We're going to data to find out. So this is where I want to get away from what I'm hearing, even feeling, and seeing what the market's telling us. And then at the end, we will go into some of our expectations, predictions, etc. So what we're going to do, we are going to start with Lexington. So if you see here, we're going to go left to right because this is the summer months. So now that we are actually exiting the summer, going to be moving the fall, real estate, their seasons. So we want to, factor that in a little bit too. So in the 250 and under price point in Lexington, I'm just going to use that bottom line because that one I feel I can kind of connect with pretty quick. Days on market for homes that sell are 8 days in June. Sold for over list price. In July, same thing, but about at list price. August, 13 days. So days on market crept up a little bit. Again, they're selling around list price. So what this is telling us is a good market. September, it bumped up 6 days. Or you could say almost 50%, probably about 40% would be my guess. And sales price just went under list price. So still not a bad market. A lot better stats than I anticipated. The 250,000 price point has been a lot stronger than we expected. So let's move on to this has kind of been the bread and butter of Lexington. It used to be 250 and under. Now the 250s have been moved up to the 250 to 5s. So we're going to, again, just start off, since we're doing a quick summary of kind of the summer to now. Days on market 18 in June. They're selling over list price. July, days on market crept up a bit. August is when I was anticipating we'd start seeing changes. And I was actually surprised in the fact, if you look here, days on market went down slightly. Sales to list price went up slightly. Excuse me. And then in September, the days on market has increased by about a week. So, something to pay attention to now. Before we were seeing some days on market, in the 3s. April and May, those were some hot months. Now in the over 500,000, that price point is a little bit tougher to diagnose pretty quickly. In Lexington, it's easier than West Columbia because we have a little bit more data to go with. But days on market in June was 13, and it was selling a little over list price. Days on market 6 in July, houses were selling over list price again. So you can see sellers have been in a great position to sell. Now we look, bingo, okay, we got a little difference here. Days on market 40. Now 18 properties sold, so there could be one that really skewed the data. We got to pay attention to that. We could dig into that a bit more if that's an item of concern. But right now, since we have a month and a half, or a month now, and in about a week, another half a month of data, we don't really need to break that down too much unless the pattern is staying that way as well. And again, they were selling just under list price. And then September now, days on market went down from August, but still is above what we have been seeing at 32 days. And things are finally starting in this price point to sell under list price. So right now, what is this telling me about September? First, now we're going to go from top to bottom. Okay. For the $250,000 price point, I'll go ahead. Just throw myself on the screen. Just sometimes I like to see body language. So anyways, The inventory that went on the market, 57 new properties and 55 sold, which right there, that tells us it's still a strong market for sellers. Okay, in the 250 to 500,000, 144 have hit the market, 116 have sold. What would be interesting is to find out how many of those new are new construction. I'd imagine a good majority of them are. And then again, days on market, 26, selling just under list price typically. And then we go down to the luxury market, 28 hit the market, 20 sold. So again, right now, the stats are telling us that we don't need to panic about real estate right now. But what we also do know is interest rates are going up, which are making these houses less affordable for a lot of people. Now, I'll break into details later on why I think we can see prices, and let's go through that real quick. The average sales, 207, 211, 202, 211. That hasn't dropped. In the 500,000 price point and under, 343,000, 340,000, 342,000, 337. Dropped a bit here, but not a lot. Not something that has me not sleeping at night. Average sale for the luxury, 661, 665, 713, 743,000. So of a luxury market, days on market, 30 is still not bad. We are seeing some of the higher priced houses be selling right now. So I'm going to switch over now to West Columbia. And let me just let you see the whole screen right now. So again, let's go ahead and do what we did before. Let's go left to right. And then at the end, we'll go top to bottom so we can analyze September. And I hope you find this data very helpful. This is how I stay ahead of the market, and how I know how to prepare my clients of knowing, okay, right now we kind of have a general feel for what prices are selling, how they're doing to list price. I'm going to do comps in that neighborhood or a lot tighter so that we know exactly how to negotiate and how to defend the way we're negotiating. But again, this is just kind of an overview of me sharing my information. That you accountants, financial people out there probably love this, my good old computer programmers. And then some of you who just say, just give me the bottom line. Hopefully, look at the pictures and then just look at them, review them, analyze them, and you can move on. Or just make it really fast and just call me, say, hey, Drew, what's the market doing? Let me just answer it for you. Okay, so anyways, I forgot if I went left to right, so we will do that again if we haven't. The 250,000 price point in West Columbia and Cayce. We're going to use the bottom line as a quick summary. Days on market, 8, and they're selling over list price. Days on market, 14. They're still selling over list price, slightly less than they did the month previous, and they're on the market almost a week longer. August, days on market dropped, and sales to list price ratio went up, meaning if something was on the market for 100,000, it was selling for 103,200 on average. And then for this month, days on market 25, that tripled from the previous month. That is a stat that says, let's start paying attention, right? And then the sales to list price ratios, 99%. The older markets, we used to deal with 96 to 97% list price. So this is still a strong market for sellers. There is no doubt about it. Under the 500,000 price point. I'm going to probably do a video on why it's so much more affordable to own a house in the 250,000 below than rent a house. I'm sure many of you already know that, but we can break down the numbers of what you get for the dollar renting versus buying. And of course, some of that's going to depend on, your interest rates, credit scores, all that stuff. But, we can get a pretty good number. We're going to the 500,000. So again, this is going to start seeing, there's less sales actually in this price point in West Columbia and Cayce than the under 250,000. So if you're shopping under 250, maybe moving to West Columbia or Cayce could open up some doors if you're not finding it in Lexington. Days on market, 16, so it's a little over 2 weeks. And again, houses were selling over list price. Days on market, 13, dropped slightly in July, and they're selling over list. August, days on market crept up just a bit, and again, selling just over list price. September, 20 days on the market. That's the most we've seen in the last 4 months. But again, nothing that worries me. Now, again, luxury market. If you see, there's not a lot of inventory. So take the stats in this price point with a grain of salt. Still like to use them, get a feel for what's going on, but you got to understand when data will get skewed just by one transaction. And okay, just to tell you, in September, there was one transaction, right? Okay, days on market, 459. So July, was that an oddity? It looks that way. August, 4 days on market. And again, they were selling over list price. September, the days on market went up to 38. But remember, I told you there was only one sold. So we can't really get too scared on that information. And it sold under list price. And if a house has been on the market for that amount of time, you would expect that. Okay, so top down, let's look at the inventory. 50 hit the market, 55 sold, which means there is less inventory on September 30th than there was on September 1st. In the next price point, 43 hit the market, 35 sold. So we have a few more houses on the market than we did a month ago. And again, 2 on the market went on the market, 1 sold. So in theory, we should have 1 extra house available to purchase. I am not tracking the withdrawals expired, so there could have been multiple withdrawals and expired since we ended the summer. So what is this telling me? Let's go back to me, right? Okay, so what this is telling me is right now we do not have data to tell us that the Lexington, West Columbia real estate market is something to be concerned with. We are very insulated. I'm thankful in the market we're in. And I'm going to we had met with the lender that came down from New York. So I told them kind of what Columbia is about a bit. Well, first off, they're coming from New York, and they're not coming from like upstate New York. They're coming from, I think it was Long Island, but it was like pretty close to Manhattan. And so, of course, they're like, the taxes here are ridiculous. The home prices are ridiculous. You can afford a $300,000 house at minimum wage. Well, up there, minimum wage is like 15, I think it was 12 an hour, 15 an hour, something like that. So that part was a little different. But it reminds us that our market, the taxes are up in New York. You'll be seeing people paying $15,000 in taxes a year, where for that house, we may be paying $3,500. Their houses may be selling $500,000 to $700,000. That is a $225,000 to $255,000 house here. So we are living in a very affordable place to live based on other parts of the country. So of course, we are seeing a lot of people from the north selling and coming down. You never hear, I want to retire and move up north. It's always, I want to move down south. I want to come where it's more affordable, where the weather is better. But then what's driving our economy? Because the housing prices, at the end of the day, it's going to go with affordability. And with affordability, interest rates are going up. So are incomes going up as fast as inflation? No, we know that. They're not going up as quick as interest rates are. So are houses becoming less affordable for just, the average person living in Columbia? Yes, they are. So that we have to monitor the sales prices. And that's something that does have me a bit concerned. And that's why I'm monitoring it so tightly. But we are seeing, again, a lot of influx from other areas of the country. The second part is our economy is very stable typically. We are driven by, we've got USC, we got healthcare here. We're the capital of South Carolina, so we have a lot of state resources here. We have a lot of hospitals and medical here. We have Fort Jackson here. We have a lot of industries that don't just rise and fall like, the tech industries, cryptocurrencies. It's not, the fluctuation isn't there. It's a very stable market. So, the people that had a job a year ago most likely have a job this year. So that's an area that we're thankful in. So right now, we do have to monitor affordability, but with the influx of people, you can just see we don't have the inventory to make it where, people aren't going to buy. Right now, if you need to sell, you price it accurately, it's going to be sold. So that's where we stand right now. I'm going to still monitor. We do know interest rates are more likely to keep going up. So if you have a need, if it improves your life to sell and buy, you may want to consider that. If you're just kind of like, I can take it or leave it, if you have a lower interest rate, that's what we're seeing is people who are locked into something good stay. But if your life will change for the better, then, you have to move on to what's best for you. So anyways, switch things around. That's kind of cool. Playing around with my... Okay. So anyways, if you need anything, reach out to me. This one actually went a little bit longer than I was hoping for, but I hope you got good information from it. And again, Drew, I imagine you know that by now, known as the real estate coach. Job is to guide, protect, create an advantage. The reason I like and went with the mentality of being a coach is before I got in the business, I did not have the best, I wouldn't say success rate, but I wasn't extremely satisfied with the service I received. And I love the analogy. Back then, I was coaching soccer, and it was the thing that just excited me the most, right? But I love the fact of your team doesn't win. You don't win unless your team wins. And that's one of the beliefs I have about this industry. If my clients are not winning, well, then A, we shouldn't be working together. B, it says I'm not doing a good job. And that's not what I want to look in the mirror and say to myself. So my job is to make certain I protect you, I guide you, I create an advantage for you, and we win based on your needs. Need anything, reach out. Bye.